Hello everyone and welcome to the fifth part of our section 1 of the complete Python 3 course. Now if you remember, in the last video we discussed a list, and in this video we're going to discuss dictionaries. So if you haven't watched that video yet, make sure you check it out. The link of that previous video in which we discussed lists will be in the description box down below. So make sure you check it out. It's very important if you haven't already. Now dictionaries are pretty simple, and before I start a discussion on dictionaries, I just want to say that we've completed 70% of our basics of Python, and we're gonna just be finishing it with some more few things to discuss. So yeah, you've been getting through it and it's easy. It's remembering things is not the solution, but understanding the things, as we saw, is the solution. So I hope you're not trying to remember things, but instead you're trying to understand things and learning them, how to use them. Okay, so now in this video, as I said, we're going to discuss dictionaries. Now from the previous video, if you remember, lists were collection of data types or objects. For example, lists were collection of different numbers, different strings, and floating points. Or we could have a string, integer, floating point, or a variable in a same list. So lists were just collection of different data structures or data types. But what is dictionaries? Dictionaries are also collection, but they're not only the collection of only data type or data structures. They are collection of key value pairs. Now what I mean by that, for example, a list is something like this. Okay, students, and we have a list of students. Okay, and a list of students may have like different students. For example, John, Josh. I'm just giving you different examples. So Josh, John, John, Josh, and let's say Nick. Oops. So this is a simple list of John, Josh, and Nick, and these are students. Now let me discuss a dictionary. A dictionary is not on several or multiple things. A dictionary is based on a single thing, or we can have like a data stored of something in a dictionary. Now if I just say student is equal to, and I do instead of brackets I do curly braces or curly brackets, and say name, and say, let's say John, for example. Okay, and I say age, and let's say age is 14, and then at the end I'm going to say grade, and let's say he's in 5th grade, whoever John is. Okay, it's just an example. So notice what I did here. I first assigned a variable student to a dictionary that I made. Okay, a dictionary is first of all made with curly braces. You put curly braces and then you join key value pairs. Now how you join key and values? By this colon. This is the thing, or this is the symbol to join a key and a value. And to separate different key value pairs, we use commas. So name is John, comma, age is 14, comma, grade is 5th. And we can have different things. Okay, we could have had integer. So we could have instead of 14, a string to 14, we could have an integer 14. So it doesn't really matter, but it should have an assigned value. So instead of just an integer, I'm going to just say 14 in a string. So this is a small and concise, a decent dictionary. Now if I just say print student and run this program, look, I have got a dictionary onto my console stating the exact same things I stated here, or like name John, age 14, grade 5th. So it's just, or a dictionary in simple words for beginners is to store a data about different stuff. So you will, like, let me just give you another example. Now let's just say country, okay, and instead of name, like instead of John, let's say it's USA. Oops, why did I write yes? So it's USA, and it doesn't have an age. So instead of age, I'm gonna just say capital. Okay, and capital is not 14. Capital is Washington DC, but before I write Washington DC, I'm gonna have to correct the syntax. So Washington DC. Okay, and then it doesn't have any grade, so I'm gonna just say cities. Okay, and let's say cities. Now here I'm gonna just tell you how we can use lists or nested dictionaries inside a dictionary. So I'm gonna just say a list of cities. So I'm gonna just say NYC, everybody knows it, New York City, and then I'm gonna say Los Angeles. Sorry for the comparison, but I just have to give you an example. So I'm gonna say country. Okay, now notice what I did here. I just simply said name is USA, and capital of USA was Washington DC, and cities in USA, I made a list. Now these are not the all cities. USA has a ton of cities, but these are the basic cities. So I just want to give you I just wanted to give you an example how you can use lists inside cities. So if I just say print country and run this, notice I just get this exact same data over here. So it's very unique, like kind of a data structure, dictionaries, objects, or data structures that we use to store data. So dictionaries are very important, very useful, and very interesting to use. Now that we've just said that it has cities, New York City and LA, let me just give you an example of saying states. Okay, so I'm not gonna just refer all the states over here. States are 50, and there are a ton of them, so I can't just state them over here, but I'm going to just say states 50 and run this again. Look, I get the exact same thing to my dictionary, which is states are 50. And what I can do here is I can say a different type of thing. Okay, so I'm gonna just remove this cities part, and in this example I'm gonna show you how can we use nested dictionaries and how do we add things to our dictionaries. Okay, so the method we use to add things onto our dictionary is pretty simple. What we can do here is say that country, and I can say country or with brackets, and I can say cities is equal to, then I can have a dictionary saying I'll say most famous maybe, and I'm gonna just say most famous, and in most famous I'm gonna just write New York City. I don't know if it's most famous, but I'm gonna just write New York City. Sorry for anyone who is getting bored of this, but let me just show you how can use nested dictionaries. And most famous, New York City, and biggest, I'm gonna just write biggest. I don't even know which is the biggest city, but I'm gonna try and assume that let's say biggest is LA. Okay, it's not, I know, but maybe it is, but let's just assume. Okay, and now let's just print country and run this program. Okay, now look here, I have name USA, capital Washington DC, states 50. Now here you notice we didn't have anything cities stated into our list, okay? We removed cities. But now we see, cities at the end. And that city has a dictionary. So what we did here, we said, look, grab the country variable, the dictionary, and assign a key which is cities and give it a value of this thing. So what it did, it made a key for us which is cities. It assigned this whole big dictionary to our cities. So most famous, New York City, biggest, LA. Okay, so don't be don't try to feel just bad with this example if I'm wrong. I know I may be wrong, and 80% I'm wrong. So don't get me wrong, I'm just giving you this example so you can understand better. Now that we've discussed how to make dictionaries, what are dictionaries, how to add thing to dictionaries as we added here, and now let me just tell you the fun part of dictionaries, where you grab simple things like you grab keys or values only. So if I just say, let me just bring the dictionary back and remove this big example, and I'm going to just say print country, and I'm going to just say country dot keys. Now if you've understood what is this, good for you. If you didn't, let me tell you, don't worry. So I'm gonna run this, and what it gives me, it says dict keys name capital state. What I said is print all the names of all the keys in this variable which is country. So it just gave me a list of those keys which is name capital states. So name capital and states over here. So if you have a big dictionary and you want to find only the name of the keys, so you can just use this simple method of grabbing only keys. And same as that, we have a method for values, and if I just run this, you may have guessed, it gives us the values instead the keys. So USA, Washington DC, 50. USA, Washington DC, and 50. We have these values. So these are simply helpful methods that you can use to just find out or grab out the keys and values from a dictionary. So the method we use now to just add a thing onto our dictionary, we can use the same method, like just writing the name of that variable of the dictionary, brackets, and we said cities, we added cities to our dictionary. But we can use the same method to change something, and to change, I'm gonna just have let's say I'm gonna just say states 51. Okay, they're not 51, but I'm gonna just change them so we can just see an example. So if I just say country states is equal to 51, and then I print country, I'm gonna run this program. Look, states were 50, but now they're 51. What I did here, I said that in this variable country, grab the key states, and whatever the value is, just change its value to 51. I don't care whatever the value is, just change it to 51, okay? And it changed the value of states to 51. Okay, this was it for dictionaries. Pretty interesting, pretty easy. And if you didn't understand till now, I encourage you to watch this tutorial again, watch the core parts so you can have a better understanding. Otherwise, I will just practice more and more. Try out your favorite examples of your cartoon, favorite cars, favorite places, favorite countries, or your city, your country, favorite games, whatever you like. Try out dictionaries on them. Grab their properties and just use dictionaries to store their data. That's going to be an amazing experience for you, and it will help you a lot to learn about dictionaries. What we discussed here, that how to make a dictionary. We discussed that how to change something in a dictionary, like I did here. You can see here I changed value of states to 51. We saw that how to add something to our dictionaries, and we saw how to just grab only the keys and only the values of of a dictionary. Okay, that was it for this video. I'll see you in the next video where we discuss tuples. And after tuples, we're gonna have some more things to discuss, and then we're gonna be finishing off of our basics of Python. So that was it for this video. I'll see you in the next video where we discuss tuples. Thank you so much for watching.